This is Judy Hink. I am on the campaign committee and a vestry member. And I'm talking today with Marty Hamlin, who was one of the strong proponents for air conditioning. Hi, Marty.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. As I've told you before, I was kind of an opponent to doing air conditioning, mostly because of cost and electricity, environmental stuff, and I sort of told myself it's only 3 months, why do we need to do it? The geothermal handled my concerns about energy and cost, but you really persuaded us on the vestry with your thoughts about the health implications of not air conditioning. You wrote us this lovely paper about heat and its effects on the body, and talked particularly about its effects on the members and the worship team in the front and the organist. So, can you explain what some of your concerns were about why we needed to air condition?
Well, I worked as a public health nurse, which prevention is the main focus of public health. And so I was coming from that point of view. And as I came to church on Sunday, I began to be very worried about some children and some of our elderly members who I knew had chronic health conditions. One of the members I sat across as they were weaving and eventually fainted in the pew. Oh. And so as a medical professional who would be called upon to address medical emergencies, I was constantly kind of worried who might go down at any given time. And so I was looking at it from that perspective. People who are on meds have lung conditions, cardiac conditions, were really affected. And a couple of people have had a talk with me about that they just simply can't go to church in the summer because of the heat. And I felt that that was really preventing people from being able to come to worship for a big chunk of the year because of the heat factor in the church. But I also am an acolyte, and so I've been on the altar and knew how little air exchange there really was on the altar, and would sit and watch the assisting minister and the presider as they were robed in multiple layers of polyester clothing, knowing that they don't breathe very well, and wondering, wow, how long is it before one of these people are going to be severely affected? And then looking around the environment at what they could get injured, they would fall on marble. And the organist, if they happen to faint, the organist is often up there sometimes alone, and they're high up, heat rises, they're working very strenuously, and was always concerned if they fainted, they might topple over the back of the bench and fall, into the church. Are these probable? But they certainly were high possibilities.
As you say that, I realize that I myself would always request not to be an assistant minister in the second half of July and August because of my own fears of fainting, and I knew I have fainted in heat before, and I just thought of that now and thought, oh, you're one of the people she was thinking about. So you've noticed both the air conditioning and the air exchange
has dramatically
improved. Oh,
and of course, knowing that it is geothermal, really took away, I think, at least many people's growing anxiety over the state of our environment. Right. And so it feels good to know that your church has attended to that, and that's not a big issue. And then Art Halberdier, we were talking about this maybe, I don't know, several weeks ago, and he commented to me that because of the high efficiency of air exchange, that this church actually rates pretty high in terms of COVID prevention, because we have a state-of-the-art air exchange. And so probably people are safer in this church than they might be in others because of our system. So I think we've had a lot of long-term benefits that none of us thought about.
Right.
And it really impacts it more than just the cooling part of it. I think it makes a better environment for us all the way around.
Yeah.
And so therefore I'm pleased that